of laudanum. Large quantities could knock out a bull. Could Elizabeth have been drugged? If the body wounds are anything to go by, then clearly not. She put up a fierce fight. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
Hochinteressant. Aber wir schauen uns natürlich noch etwas mehr um, denn durch Sherlock Holmes wissen wir ja nicht immer den direkten Tatort untersuchen, sondern alles absuchen.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there.
Das heißt, wer auch immer geschossen hat, oder wer auch immer die Knarre hat, der hat eine Verletzung an der Hand.
It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently. A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France. Right. I shall have to find its owner.
Also entweder Peru oder Bonaparte. Einen von beiden gehört die Knarre.
Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear. It's a travel dress. The silk has been lightly waxed to protect it from bad weather. And I know the very woman who came up with the idea, given all the traveling she does. My mother. God help us. Why did she come here in the first place? The material appears to have undergone abnormal wear and tear. She must have been scouring the countryside, and that doesn't look good.
Also war Louis' Mutter hier letzte Nacht. Na super.
The handprint on the handle is really small. I can't imagine a man with a hand that size. It must be from a woman's hand.
Das heißt dann wohl, Louis' Mutter war's.
Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Fangen wir mit dem Kopf an.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations. She bled from the nose. Signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. What a strange smell. The breath. It smells of alcohol and of laudanum. People use it to relieve pain. I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death. It looks as though the wounds were inflicted from a precise angle, as if the murderer was standing behind Elizabeth. The wounds are clean and look like they've been inflicted by a sharp object. Some of the lacerations have damaged vital organs, the heart, the right lung, which is perforated. Most of them weren't given with much force. She might even have survived. But the stab in the heart, though not all that deep, sealed her fate.
Also jemand ist eindeutig sicher gegangen, dass sie stirbt.
Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body. There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
Moment mal. Elisabeth hat eine Wunde an ihrer Hand.
People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control. Scars are superficial and were made several years ago. She wasn't trying to take her own life. Scarring, ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts.
Ja, dazu kann ich leider nichts sagen.
No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol. No marks or bruising around the wrists. It doesn't look like she was tied up or held by force. Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. Let's see. No trace of sexual assault or rape. The direction of the blood streaks caused by the wounds to the thorax show that she was standing when she lost blood. This proves that she was standing when she was assassinated, possibly held by someone or something. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
Alles sehr eigenartig.
Knocked over a bottle of wine. What kind of plonk is that? Hey, it's a Bordeaux. That's a Chateau de Briand. It's a great wine. I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable.
Oh.
Huh. The talisman that I gave back to Elizabeth. I can't exactly say it brought her good luck.
Ja, leider nicht.
Huh. The talisman that I gave back to Elizabeth. I can't exactly say it brought her good luck.
Okay, scheinbar kann ich ihn nicht mitnehmen. Na gut, Monsieur. Ich denke, wir sind hier fertig.
Has Sir finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Alright. Das wird ein sehr schwerer Fall, kann man richtig anders sagen.
President George Washington.
Okay, schauen wir mal. Ist er zu Hause? Zumindest können wir rein. Ist doch schon mal ein Anfang. Haha, wieder was gefunden. Ja, wir brauchen wieder mal Honig. Da ist ja auch Washington, aber mit dem reden wir erstmal nicht. Ich will erstmal genau sehen, was wir hier finden können.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
So, jetzt haben wir gar keine Konzentrationspunkte mehr.
Great.
Ach, Gott sei Dank. Honig. Jetzt haben wir wenigstens schon mal wieder 2 Punkte. Ja, ich bin viel zu verschwenderisch mit meinen Konzentrationspunkten. Also, naja. Das dient ja zu einer guten Sache.
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals. The English and the Americans are preparing a peace treaty. It would appear that Emily is in secret discussion with Washington about reopening trade between the United States and England. If such an arrangement came into being, France would suffer dearly.
Naja.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Your friend, William.
Er ist also ganz dick mit Mortimer. Sieh einer.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Are you all right, Mr. President? Are you feeling all right?
Oh, don't worry. It's this rotten toothache. What do you expect? I'm no spring chicken now.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Do you take it regularly, Mr. President?
Unfortunately, I do, Louis. I still suffer from a terrible toothache, and it's not likely to get any better.
It's just for that, then.
Old age, my young friend. I don't wish it upon you, but you'll soon see. At my age, it's rare to have no problems in that domain.
And do you take a lot?
A moderate amount, Louis. Only the dosage indicated on the prescription of my doctor.
Ist ja nett.
Do you know if she had Any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Peru, but that case was closed if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened. And I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her.
Yes, Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised her to come.
Agreed. Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
Okay, also Washington scheidet aus. Schade, kein Honig, aber hey. Wir werden unsere Honigsucht schon irgendwie in den Griff kriegen.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal
Piaggi,
Piaggi.
natürlich.
Huh, that's me.
Ja, unsere eigene Bude dürfen wir auch nicht rein. Sauerei.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Ja, der ist wohl auch noch nicht da.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.